Hey guys, this is Thomas. Welcome to YourBlock. Today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the second episode of Gotham titled Selina Kyle. Now, off the bat, a lot of people thought that this episode would focus more on Selina Kyle herself. That really wasn't the case. She played a little bit of a role, but the spotlight did stay focused on James Gordon and the Penguin, as it probably should. And we dived more into Selina Kyle's character this episode. We learned a lot more about the character. She didn't do too much in the pilot. She was just sort of not walking, she was running around watching people. It was kind of weird. But this time we got to hear her speak. We learned some more about her character. It appears she has some mother issues that we're probably going to delve into as the show continues on. The actress that played her, Cameron Bicandova, probably not pronouncing that right, definitely not pronouncing that right. I thought she was servable to the role. Probably not the best Catwoman we've ever had, but as a child actress, I thought she was servable. You know, nothing Emmy quality, of course, but I think she'll hold her own. I think as the show continues, we'll see a bit more of her range if she can bring that range. It can be hard for child actresses and actors, but I think she'll grow into it as we continue on. Hopefully they don't give her something she can't handle. You know, play to the strengths of the actor, right? That's what they should be doing with her. But she was not the central focus of this episode, so I was sort of left wondering why this episode was named after her. It did tell us more about her character, but like she was more of a background character, so maybe you should have gone with a different name. I think we would have expected something different if you named it something else. Just my thoughts. Moving on, we had a couple of antagonists in this episode who were named Patty and Butch. They were pretty creepy. They weren't all that interesting, to be honest. They weren't the best part of this episode, I don't think they were expected to be. But they did reinforce that there are some messed up people in Gotham besides, you know, Batman's rogues gallery. So it's cool to see that they're going to go with different stories per episode. I think that's what they're going to do. But they are creepy. They drug and abduct street kids. I'm not really sure what their MO is. Maybe I missed that. I'll probably have to go back and watch it. But I don't understand why they're doing this. But they basically drug street kids and kidnap them. But they, you know, besides that, they weren't all that interesting. The best thing they probably did all episode was throw Corey from That's So Raven through a restaurant window. But besides that, nothing too big. I don't think they'll be back in future episodes. I think they were just a one and done kind of thing. They did what they were supposed to do this episode, though. They played their antagonist roles, and they didn't take focus off of what was going on with the Penguin. So in that respect, they did a good job. So Harvey Bullock was actually a more interesting character this episode than he was in the pilot. The first episode, I found that he was just sort of going to be this dick guy who was sort of getting in Gordon's way, and they weren't actually going to be partners. But in this episode, I found that they were more of a unit, him and Gordon. There was more depth added to the character because he might be this crooked cop in a messed up city. He does strive for some justice, but he has his own methods of bringing that justice. The relationship between him and Gordon is getting more interesting. I think as the season continues along, we'll see some, you know, maybe some more conflict between the two, or maybe they'll come together a little more. The actor who plays him was actually born in Ottawa, so I'm happy to see that he's just not going to be this constant dick who's always getting in Gordon's way. He can be a dick who gets in his way from time to time, but I don't want him to be that, you know, just that guy who's, you know, acting like a dick 24/7. He does get on the same page as Gordon from time to time, and I'm happy to see that. Robin Taylor Lord is probably the shining star of this episode. He is such an interesting character. He might be the best live-action adaptation of the Penguin that we've ever seen, although that may not be a tough mountain to conquer. Sorry, Danny DeVito. But no, he was really great this episode. He's probably one of the top 3 reasons why I will continue on with this show. He does some pretty messed up things this episode. He does some really creepy things. And I'm really interested to see how he continues on, and maybe how he exacts his revenge and takes over in Gotham. Gordon himself, Ben McKenzie, wasn't my favorite part of this episode. Contrary to what a lot of people thought about him in the pilot, I actually really liked his performance. I saw a lot of complaints saying he came off as a generic good cop in a crooked city. And that may have been the case, but in my opinion, that's what James Gordon has always kind of been. I argued that we should let the show grow and maybe we'll see some depth added to the character. This didn't really happen this week. I didn't see very much growth. I saw a lot of what we would expect to see. I didn't see the depth. I didn't see what I was looking for, pretty much. It's still pretty early in the show. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now, but I want to see something else for the Gordon character. Bruce Wayne took a backseat this episode, which is good. We all want to see Batman, but I think it's important to keep the spotlight on James Gordon and Penguin for now. Bruce Wayne was shown continuing, try to, understand his quest to conquer fear. I like that. It keeps the focus where it should be, and it reminds us of the road that Bruce is on right now. The episode overall was good. It was easier to review than the pilot. The pilot was obviously acting as a fan service in many ways, and that was intentional. It didn't rub me the right way personally, but I'm happy to see it didn't spill over into the second episode. The second episode felt a lot more like what I feel the show should be. Have your main villain per episode, but having a storm brewing in the background. We're seeing Gotham's underworld on the brink of war. The Penguin is planning something in the background. I like to see that kind of stuff. It's a good way of showing us different stories, but keeping a consistent thread that holds the season together. While I enjoyed the pilot, I can say I like this more. It's what I like in the TV show. It's consistent. It's interesting. If they can build on this, I'm pretty sure they'll find some success with the show. Not a perfect episode by any means, but plenty of kinks they still need to hammer out, but I think they're on the right track. The tone was still spot on. I still felt like I was watching Gotham. The performances were okay, and I think we're starting to see this tension build. We're seeing something come together, and I'm happy to see that. It keeps me interested, and I'll probably tune in next week and bring you guys another review. So that's going to conclude my review of the second episode of Gotham, titled Selina Kyle. Not much Selina Kyle, but, we got enough, I think. Good episode. I'm going to continue on with it. I think I'm invested. I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. We have a lot more stuff coming for you. Don't worry. Just hang in there. We're getting there. Anyways, have a great day, guys. See you later.